All right, guys, ready to go. Any questions?
How did it go? The final tuning. You kind of know what you're working with a little bit more than what you did last week.
Say it again, Mike.
I said, how did this last one go? Obviously, you kind of know what your roster is this week. You kind of had it for the whole week.
Yeah.
You got a lot of juice out of that last week.
Yeah. I believe it carried on. I believe Monday was 24-hour rule. I believe it started on Monday. I challenged the guys to have another great week of practice. I think we've had an absolutely great week of practice. Our coaches are working their tails off. Obviously, this is going to be a tremendous challenge. Lane has a very, very good football team, hostile environment, but our guys are ready. I'm very pleased with the week's work. I'm very pleased.
And obviously, y'all seem pretty healthy right now, but just Chase-On Hines, do you think you might be able to ready to go? And then same thing with Deion Smith.
Yeah, I don't think Chase-On or Deion won't play. Doesn't look like it. Unless something miraculous happens tomorrow, I don't think so.
Then I guess that puts a lot on Marlon Martinez at right guard. How do you think he's done over the past?
I think he's good. We're really excited about him. Thought he did well. The gap plays was really good. He's growing up. Coach Brad Davis has done a tremendous job with him.
Yeah, hey, Coach. Just in the last couple of weeks, the first half defense has been tremendous for you guys. Creating turnovers, getting stops, and really kind of allowing the offense to get flowing. And it's, I don't know, I guess kind of in the second half, it's, guys are wearing down a little bit. I mean, just what are you noticing in terms of just the first half defense versus the second half defense?
Well, it's, if you watch around the country, it's not only us. I mean, the spread offenses, they catch up with what you're doing. Obviously, they make adjustments, and it turns out to be a shootout. And you look around the country, that's kind of what's happening. I don't think we're getting wore out. Really don't. I think we're doing a good job of substituting. There might be some situations where we're a little bit tired, but I think it's more or less the offense is ahead of the defense. They're coming out the second half on fire.
I got a couple of questions. The counter obviously was so successful last week. Ole Miss is going to prep that all this week. So do you feel like you're going to have plan B?
Sure. Yeah, sure. Well, obviously, we're going to try and see if it works. And, if it doesn't, but, as a good offensive coordinator as Jake is, he's going to have something off of it. And if they overplay the counter, we'll have something that we'll be able to run instead of the counter.
And then just the thing that we kind of talked about at the beginning, it feels like you have some momentum. Even before last weekend, it felt like the guys are figuring out, the coaches are figuring out the guys. Do you see that from the inside?
Yeah, I feel that. I feel it in the building. I feel that everything is flowing right now. The leadership is coming through. There's confidence in the offense, especially when you can run the football like we did. I think that the defenses have confidence having Glenn Logan back, stopping the run. There's still a lot of things we can work on, but our guys are gelling right now. We have a great chemistry in the building.
A general question about recruiting. How much of it is an advantage at a place like LSU, where the only Power 5 school in a state? How much of an advantage can that be in recruiting? I mean, you've been to a lot of schools, a lot of parts of the country. How unique and much of an advantage is that? Really?
It's a huge advantage. That's what makes LSU LSU. We're the school. And there's some other schools here that are great schools and guys could go to, but we're the only Power 5 school. Now, there's some guys that come try to poach out players. I've spent the last 5-6 years trying to keep them out of here. And for the most part, we've done a good job. You're not going to get them all, but it's very tough because people want Louisiana players. They're great players. They're tough, but it is a big-time advantage here.
Hey, Coach, speaking defensively, you mentioned, about, trying not to be worn out. Well, with the number of plays that Ole Miss ran last week and the tempo in which they play at, can you talk about just the repetitions and practices this week in terms of being able to get both your fronts ready and communication involved in getting the right guys on and off the field?
Yeah, well, I don't know if it's going to be a lot of on and off the field, to be honest with you. He goes so fast, you might be able to get a couple of guys when the ball is on our sideline, pick and choose sometimes. One of the things that hurts you is third down. He's going so fast, you can't put your nickel group in or your dime group in or something that you want. And then if you do have him in the game, he's going to make a first down and you have to play the run with him. So there's a lot of things that we have to do, a lot of adjustments we made this week to be able to keep the same guys on the field if we have to. And you're right, we're going to have to play 2 units. But the key to that is to rotate early, not to wait till they're tired. We got to rotate early so our guys can go 60 minutes.
heard you talk about that last night on the hash. Do you have a coach watching for that when they sub? You obviously need to hold the ball with you subs.
Yeah, me. I'm watching. I've always done that for the defensive line. I have them right by me. Andre's going to be right behind me. We have each coach watching his position, and each coach has their sub ready to go right there. And if the ball comes around hash, if it's an opportune time, we're going to send the guy in. We worked hard on that this week.
Everybody's talking about Jack, Besh, Mashburn, but Marucci, to me, him coming up with those analytics for you guys.
Yeah.
Last week, I mean, because most schools don't have that.
That's
they
right.
have that from a guy that's the team doctor. I guess. How invaluable is he? Because I hardly ever see the guy anymore, but he never stopped working.
Jack is like the professor, man. He's always thinking. His mind is always he's always working on something, and he thinks outside the box. He came to me with some interesting stats today, and without him, we wouldn't have those stats and how they try to attack. And I wanted him to study Lane's offense and what he's doing and some of the tendencies that he has. And the guy is phenomenal. And Jack has a brilliant mind. He's a great person. He's a hard worker. So, yes, it's very invaluable.
I wanted to add to that point. Ty was giving Jack a lot of credit for the blocking schemes, and I just want to know, how does that, from start to finish, come together? If Jack has an idea, how does that come together and fall into place with you two?
Yeah, well, Jack thought of it, to be honest with you. We wasn't running the ball very well, and he went to look at certain type of formations that were conducive to us running the football, that we're having more success than others, parts of the field, certain plays that were good, certain plays that were bad, just kind of a self-scout. But he did it in a way that I think Jack was our head trainer here, relates very well to our players. He does it in a non-intrusive way, in a helping way. And he just goes in there and says, hey, listen, these formations, these things, we're doing very well out of these, we're not. So I think that's a combination of him being very smart, him identifying what's good for us, and his communication to the players.
Coach, while you fully expect to see Matt Corral under center and playing Saturday, what's been your just in the week of preparation, the backup quarterback, and do they still function the same system? Or do they change a little bit with him?
Yeah, we practiced for Matt the whole week. That's it. We just practiced for Matt the whole week, and I know the competitor he is. That he's going to play. That's my gut feeling. I'm not sure, but I do believe that he's going to play.
I find that smoke screen. You talked about guys coming in poaching. Has that picked up this week?
Say it again, Mike.
You talked about other schools trying to poach players. Has that picked up this week?
Not that I know of. And sometimes I'm the last to know and all that stuff, but I haven't heard anything. And, we've been calling recruits, and I told them I'm a recruit to the very end for the LSU Tigers. You may not heard, but I called the guys. That's all our commitments. I told them that LSU is the place for them. I still don't want them to come to LSU, and that's not going to change till the day I walk out of here.
Has anybody not heard? Did you break the news to anybody?
We'll say it again.
Did you break the news to anybody? Had anybody not heard?
No. They might have known before me.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you, guys. Go Tigers.